What up, B Squad? It is your boy JB, and I am here today, you guys, with a brand new review for Love During Lockup. You guys, this is going to be season 5, episode 28, and this episode is titled The Morning After. Now, before we go ahead and get into it, if you guys are watching this video or any other video on the channel, and you guys aren't subscribed yet, then I need you guys to do me a solid favor and stop taking me out on this date and having me pay for it at the end of it. You guys know the routine. You can do me that favor by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, and turning on your post notifications, you guys. And with that out of the way, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this episode of Love During Lockup, shall we? All right, you guys. So I'm gonna start off with the couple who I got a good key. Well, I laughed at all these people, to be honest with you guys. But the one couple that I kind of laughed at, but then I was like, I don't know how I feel. Rick and Samantha. So we see Rick. So Rick is strumming his guitar, and he is coming up with a song for Samantha. I was like, okay, Rick, you finna show Samantha that you really do love her and that you want to marry her. Cool. Now, mind you, he says that she calls at 6:30. It's almost 6:30 at this point, and then, time just keeps going by, and she still ain't called. But then she eventually calls. And here's my issue when it comes to old Samantha, right? Samantha is talking about, she didn't know if she was going to call or not because she's still upset. And I was like, but Samantha, this man literally told you on the phone that, he has a small income, that he's living off of a fixed income. And then on top of that, we know it, but she doesn't know that his ex-wife is getting some of his money. Like, so Samantha, baby girl, I just think you need to calm down and chill out, because she's still upset about the fact that he can't come see her. So at this point, I'm like, so you want this man basically just to break the bank just to come and see you? That's very selfish as hell. But when Rick sang to her, she's like, oh, that made me feel better than what I did. I was like, what, Samantha? Okay, girl, whatever. Now that I watch this episode and see the scenes with Rick and Samantha, it's giving that Samantha is running a little bit of a con on old Ricky boy, right? Because Rick finally made it to Idaho, and there's this guy that that was his Uber driver that he's built a relationship with. So this guy is driving him around. Now, Rick is looking for a ring, and so him and the guy went to a pawn shop, and so he got her a ring. It was $98. I was like, okay, that ain't bad. But then it went to hell when they went to this supplement store. I was like, a supplement store? I was like, is she a bodybuilder now? Because the shit that he bought at that store totaled up to almost $500. Me and the black man was thinking the same thing, because I was just in there looking like, this is interesting. Like, is she selling this shit in prison? And because that was the same thing I was thinking. I was like, all of that stuff, B12, this and this and that, this and this and this and that. I'm like, Samantha's not using, she can't be using all of that. She can't be. I was like, I think she making a buck on the side. Cause ain't no way in hell. Ain't no way. But Rick wanted to pay that money. I was like, Rick. I wish he didn't do it. But hey, it is what it is. He did it, and it really is what it is. We'll pause here and we'll move forward, you guys. Now, next up, you guys, we have, who do we want to talk about next? Let's talk about Joey and Michael, because I actually really feel bad for Joey, but I've been saying this since the season started, that I do feel bad for Joey, because, yikes. I don't know, I'm not trying to say that this is going to happen, but I mean, it could happen that he could, slip back into his addiction, because this right here, what happened to him and what we found out in this episode, it is something that's very monumental and would make you want to dip back into old habits. So we found out that his mom had a brain aneurysm and it caused her to have a stroke. I was like, wow, that's not good. Prayers up to his mom. I didn't see at any point in I didn't see at any point in the episode where they put up in love and memory of his mom. So I'm assuming his mom is still with us. But with that happening, it's making Joey question his relationship with Michael because, you know, he had reached out, he had messaged Michael, and Michael did say he would be there with him, but Joey wanted someone to be there with him physically, and I get that, especially when it comes to your parents, when it comes to your mom, when it comes to your dad, when it comes to anybody right in your family, especially immediate family. You would want somebody to be there besides you. So I definitely got where he was coming from. The thing that I thought was a little alarming, and I was like, Joey, are you telling us everything? When he went to go see his friend Nancy, and he had distanced himself from his friends. And I was just like, well, Joey, did you distance yourself from your friends because of the fact that you may have, dipped back into that addiction? Just a question. Not saying that that's what happened, but it's just a question that I was wondering. But so he's talking to his friend, like I said, right? And he's talking about his doubts when it comes to Michael. And his doubts are very valid because he's worried that he's thinking about Michael and him getting out of prison. And I was like, little do you know, Michael don't know when he's getting out of prison. Michael told us that he doesn't know what it is with his sentence, right? Because he's already in there for one possession charge, but he's also in there for another possession charge, and he could be in there at least up to 6 years. And he's already wondering if he already knows, like, if I go another year, it's a possibility that, Joey won't be there. I was like, you absolutely right about that one. You are 100% right that if it goes another year, I don't think you're going to have Joey. Just saying, right? But yeah, let's set up a prayer for Joey. Now let's pause here and move on. Next up, you guys, Andrew and Candace. Candace. She is 29 years old. That's a very hard 29. Very hard. She looks older than I do. God, say no to drugs, people. Say no to drugs. That's all I got to say. Now, you guys know she has to go check in. Now, it's not a halfway house. I couldn't remember what it was, but you guys know she has to go check in, right? So they get to the place where she's supposed to check in at, and she said it was once a hotel. And she said that when she got out of jail at one point, that her mom had passed away and she was there. Now, I don't know if she was saying that, which I think that's what she was saying, like, when she went there after her mom passed, that, okay, they'll go either ambulance or a fire wagon, one of the two. But when she went there, I'm assuming she might have slipped back into that addiction. Now the place is, which I thought was so weird, when she said there are sick patients there, like, mentally ill patients, and then your convicts. I was like, why would you want to mix and mingle those two together? Very weird, huh? Okay. If that's what they want to do, then I still think it's weird, but hey, whatever. So she got there, and then she came back out like 20, 30 minutes later, right? And she told, what's his name? Andrew. Y'all, the other thing is, I'm still trying to figure out what is this on her lip. I just keep looking at her lip, and I just be like, girl, what is it? I'm gonna let it go. I'm gonna let it go. But she told Andrew that she can go back to the person, whoever she talked to, said that she can go to the apartment, right? All she has to do is just text them, keep them abreast of where she's at, right? And she also has to register for EBT. I was like, ain't that fun? That's interesting. How? Now, I do have a question. How in the hell can a convict get out of jail and get food stamps? But never mind. I'm just gonna shut up again. But so they got back to the apartment, and then he ordered food for them. I was looking at that. I was like, oh, they're eating Raisin Canes. I was like, that chicken is so unseasoned. That chicken ain't got nobody seasoning. But hey, she was tearing it up. I was like, I guess it's better than that prison food that you ate, because Raisin Cane's chicken fingers, they ain't got no seasoning to it. Like, that's what they sauce is for, because they ain't got no damn seasoning on that chicken. Neither here nor there. So they went to bed, and she said that he could sleep with her in the bed, not physically sleep with her, because she's still uncomfortable with being with him because of her past, right? And he's cool with it. That is the one thing that I will say about Andrew. He's very respectful of what she says, and I appreciate that. What I don't appreciate is this almost $1,400 damn apartment, and you only giving your child $400 in child support. That ain't right, Andrew. You ain't shit for that. Now, what I will say is I'm trying to get a good read for Candace, because at one point the producers asked her was she attracted to him, and she kind of struggled to answer that question, but she didn't say yes, and I was like, I don't think so, sis. I don't think so. Then we also got the backstory about her son, right? You know, I always just find it very fascinating when you hear people. Now, she was young when she got pregnant with her son, right? But I always find it interesting and fascinating to hear people who say that but it's a disease, right? We know that. But I would just find it interesting that people, get so deep into the addiction that they can't be parents to their kids. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. But that's her main concern at this point, is her getting her son back. And I'm okay with that. I I don't feel, I think we all make mistakes. We're all human, right? So you can't judge people off of their past mistakes. Now, if they keep repeating those mistakes, then that's, you gotta be like, you have a history of unchanged behaviors. I can't say I can't say whether she's changed or not. Only she and God know that answer. And that's it. We'll pause here and we'll move on to the next person, you guys. Child, I don't know who I want to talk about next, because you got one that's just, but we'll say that one for last, because I got a lot to say about her. Shantae and Untrue. Shantae. Mama, break up with Untrue. Like, you do see that this man, never mind. Shantae is going to be going to meet Untrue's mama and his sister in person, right? And her niece is going to be riding with them. So Shantae says that his mama will check her if she don't send him money, if it's late or stuff like that. And I was like, I would ask her, instead of checking me, why don't you send him some money? That is your son. He ain't nothing to me at this point. He's my fiance. He ain't my husband. So I'm not obligated to do anything to him. Even as a wife, you wouldn't be obligated to do anything to him. But as a fiance and a girlfriend, you're damn sure obligated. But you are his mother. You're his mother. Why don't you send him something? Now, we also found out that True and his mama just recently started back talking to each other within the last 6 months, because of the fact that his mama, she was a character witness at his trial, and she told those people that if they let him out at that time, that he was going to repeat the same actions. I was like, well, damn. At least she was honest. And then she said that she got other people to testify against him. Yikes. Your own mama. Okay, cool. I mean, at least she was truthful. At least she was truthful about the fact that if he got out, he would do the same thing again. Untrue and his mama, they look alike. Now, we get to this meetup, right? His sister came and sat down because she was like, you do know my brother ain't never dated a black woman before, right? And she's like, well, it's the first time for everything. It wouldn't be the first time for me. I'm not gonna be the test pig, the guinea pig, none of that shit. This man, the sister, like, she seems nice, right? But she was like, I know my brother and I know his type. Now when they showed his type, when they blurred out the women's faces, and I kept, I noticed a trend with them women, right? It's what I always see when it comes to black men who say that they don't date black women, but they end up, and it's just the weirdest shit to me, because y'all don't find, most times when it comes to black men who only date white women, I don't know why I'm using air quote, but they only date white women, they don't find the country club girls. They don't get them. They don't get the country club girls. They don't get the rich white girls. They don't get those girls. They get the girls who hang around with black girls and emulate black girls. And it's just like, what was the part? What, like, what it really is you have a colorist issue. Like, that's really what it is. Not anything, because you still end up picking something similar to a black woman. But okay, cool, never mind. So his sister don't think that things will work out. I was like, you and I agree on that one. I don't think it's gonna work either. So then Shantae let them know that once Untrue gets out of prison, that he gonna stay with them. And the mama didn't know nothing about that, because mama's trying to get a room ready for him at her place. So Untrue called back, right? And they was like, well, she just told us that you stand with her. He said, I ain't said it to her. I was like, and you on speakerphone at that. I was like, Shantae, get your ass up and walk out of this place. This man is playing you. So his mom was like, so what should I do? Because I'm trying to get this room ready for you. He told his mom she can do whatever you want to do, right? Because Shantae is the one that told you that I was gonna come and stay with her. I was like, Shantae, get the fuck up. Then his sister asked, why did you propose to Shantae? He couldn't even tell them why he proposed. I was like, Shantae, get your ass up and walk out of this restaurant, this place. This man is playing with you. He's playing you for a fool. Even his mama and sister, his mama had to ask her, you don't think he playing you? And she was like, well, it could happen in the real world too. It sure, absolutely, it can happen anywhere. Like, yes. But I'd rather get played by somebody who is in the free world than a motherfucker that's behind bars. Bitch, please. A nigga that's behind bars ain't finna play no games with me. Like, the fuck? Shantae, get your ass up and go home, girl. This man is playing you for a fool. Get the fuck up and go home. Go home to your kids. Go home to your kids, girl. Like, please don't be a fool. Please don't be a fool. Oh, his mama also asked her, like, why she hadn't been to see True. Now, she said she got a reason for why she hasn't been to see him, but she didn't want to tell his mama. Girl, I don't give a damn. Count your blessings that you ain't went to see this nigga. Go home. Go home, Shantae. Go home. Let's pause here, you guys, and let's move forward. You guys, we're going to save the worst for last. Ayana. You guys, I cannot with Ayana. I really, truly can't. I've never saw someone as despicable as Ayana. Ayana, so we pick up the episode, right? And Ayana is still pissed off about this judge. And I'm like, you dumbass, your fate was in that woman's hands. Yes, that was a Zoom court, but you still treat it like it's a regular court, because like I said last week, you would not have been in a traditional courtroom. You would not have been able to feed your daughter. You would have had to feed her before you got there. So you should have woke up early, which you were up early, but you was on the phone with Jamal Instead of you being on the phone with Jamal, take care of your fucking kid. Like, you should have fed your kid instead of being on that phone with Jamal. That nigga ain't going nowhere. He ain't going nowhere. You know where he is. He can call back later. You can tell him, hey babe, let me get a meal or something to eat real quick. Call me back in about 20. Actually, you know what? The my court case is in a few minutes, so let me feed her. Then let me get to the court, get to court, and then you can call me back. Because that's exactly what he did. He called her back after it was over. So what, girl? What, Ayana? I really ain't got much for her. And she's still mad at this damn judge. It's like, once again, you disrespected the court. So again, and your fate is in her hand. It ain't the other way around. That judge can do whatever she wants to do. And she actually, from what I think, she went kind of lenient on you. She gave you the 15 days instead of however many, what, the 2 months, 3 months, however many months it was in jail. She went lenient on you, but she gave you probation because I think the judge sees what the rest of us see. You lack morals. You lack accountability. You lack a lot of, it's a lot of shit that you lack. Let's just be real about that. You lack a whole lot of shit, girl. So after she got off the phone, now I want to say her friend, is her name Lexi? The baby hairs. I've been trying to ignore them baby hairs. I really have been trying to ignore them, but I can't because they bother in my spirit. My God, them things were just blowing me. Ayana is such a fucking bird. Now you pissed off because you were supposed to have a 3-hour visit with Jamal, and so now because of the judge is cut down, I was like, where are your priorities? Where are your priorities? You have none, and you got 2 children. So she dropped her kids off with somebody. I don't know who she dropped the kids off with. And so now her and Lexi are going to the jail to see Jamal. On the way there, she is still pissed off. I'm not going to be able to spend that much time with Jamal. Bitch. Girl, you are going to jail for 15 fucking days. You're going to jail for 15 days. Don't you think that you should be spending some time with your kids and not a raggedy ass nigga that's in prison? Your priorities, your morals, your scruples, everything is just fucked up. Like, I don't like this. I do not like Ayana. I want her to go away. I never, and I mean never, want to see Ayana on this show. So they get to the prison, right? She came out and she only got a 30-minute visit with him. And this dumb fool is sitting here crying. I was like, I know you fucking lied to me. Not she's crying. You crying more over this nigga than your kid. You know what, Ayana? Girl, get the fuck out of my face. Get the fuck out of my face. I have heard you speak more about Jamal than your children. You have talked more about Jamal than your damn kids. That's a problem. That's a problem, girl. Oh, shit. I ain't got much to say for Ayana. That's it, you guys. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode down in the comment section below. Excuse me, y'all. Subscribe to the channel, turn on your post notifications, and share the video, you guys. And until the next time, please stay safe. Take care of yourselves, guys. Wash your hands. Be blessed. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.